I grew up in Atlanta, Georgia. I went to Fulton High School and graduated from there in 1959 and went away to college. My dad signed with the St. Louis Cardinals right out of high school. And he played for 2 years, made it to AA, then had to go away to World War II. And if you're gone 4 years, your baseball career is over. But then a distant cousin, Roy Sievers, played for the Washington Senators and Philadelphia Phillies, and he was good. But a lot of people said my dad was as good or better than him. That's how I got involved with baseball. I think I just inherited a little bit there, but I played in high school, played Little League, then in high school, and then I got a 4-year scholarship to Piedmont University in North Georgia. I loved there. I was all conference a couple of years, so it was special to get involved there with the golf too. I played on the golf team. I was a decent golfer when I was young. It's kind of fading now, but the coach, since I was a pitcher, if we didn't have a game on the day of a golf match, he let me go play on the golf team. You know, that was just part of my life, playing baseball and golf in college. But when I got graduated and got involved in business, golf became really important. If you love playing and hold your tempers, tantrums, and just enjoy playing, it can be really important in business. If you take a customer golfing and they see you the next time and that's all they want to talk about. They don't want to talk about business. They want to talk about the golfing experience. So I really did use golf through all my many years and loved it. When I went up to Chattanooga, I joined a real small country club and stayed there a couple of years, and then I was in the pharmaceutical business. That's how I got to Chattanooga. I was transferred from Atlanta up to Chattanooga. So they had at Chattanooga Country Club, an old line club, it's been there since 1896, and it's the old Donald Ross course. I would go over there and play occasionally with the doctors. And then all of a sudden in 1968, this goes back, this is ancient, I know, but it was a big year for me because 3 of the doctors that I had played golf with over there, they had a special membership drive for juniors. They recommended me and sponsored me, the 3 of them. And so they had a special membership drive. The initiation fee was $300. And the dues were $25 a month until I turned 30, and then they went to $35 a month. That was a lot of money back then, but the initiation fee today is $65,000. It was a great experience, and I was involved. I ended up chairing the Green Committee. I chaired the Golf Committee. I was on the board for 10 years, and then I was president from 1987 through 1990. So it's a big part of my life, and that's how I really got involved in Chattanooga. After I was president over at Chattanooga Country Club, he called me and said, I'd like for you to be on the board of directors at the honors course. Well, this is my 33rd year on the board of directors, and it's an unusual club, because normally you have officers that are elected every year to serve 3-year terms. So you got 9 people that rotate on and off the boards. Well, this one, we've all been administering and running the club for, I said, this is my 33rd year, and we got a couple that even longer than that. In the late 90s, I said, Jack, I'm remarrying and I'm moving to Fort Myers, Florida. And he said, that's great. You'll just come up quarterly for board meetings and represent the national members. So all my years in Florida here, I've stayed on the board there. So every year, the Greater Chattanooga Sports Hall of Fame, they have one male and one female award winner, and they call it the Lifetime Achievement Award. And to be eligible, you have to have been involved in your sport and administrating or helping for a minimum of 25 years and be at least 60 years old. My involvement was because of golf and junior golf. I forget exactly what year it was, but I was on the board of the Chattanooga District Golf Association, and I became president. After about 3 years of being president, and one of your duties, you have the junior golf under you. And so you have 6 to 7 golf tournaments a year. And so I was sitting watching the Ryder Cup in 1983. Never will forget it. And I thought, if we could keep up with points for our junior tournaments, the 6 and 7 tournaments, if we kept up with points for the boys and the girls, and at the end of the season have a total of 20 that would be eligible for an end of the year tournament. I went to Jack Lupton, the Coca-Cola guy that had built the new golf course, and it opened in '83, and this was '84. I just said, Jack, if you'll let us have the end of the year tournament here at the honors course, junior golf will explode in Chattanooga. He didn't answer for a good while, and I was so nervous I couldn't breathe. And then finally he said, we'll try it 1 year. Well, first one was in 1985, and it was called the Chattanooga Junior Classic. I put the name on it, I just came up with it. And that was in 1985, so this August will be the 40th anniversary and the 40th playing of the Chattanooga Junior Classic, except for one thing. When I went up to the Chattanooga Sports Hall of Fame ceremony and receiving the Lifetime Achievement Award, the MC narrator, after he had done my bio for the presentation of the ceremony, and he said, oh, I forgot something. He goes over and gets a piece of paper, and he says, I just want to tell you that the people at the honors in the Chattanooga district appreciate what you've done for junior golf, and the Chattanooga Junior Classic henceforth and forevermore will be the Jim Sievers Junior Classic. So brought me to tears. But it just meant so much to be involved with the kids, and my wife, Samira, can back me up on it, but I got a letter last year from one of the kids that played in 1985. He won his age group. He sent me a letter just thanking me, and he said, I'm 54 years old now. I just love working with the juniors and giving them the availability to play and develop into higher up and more prestigious, but also it would be tougher on them. They'd learn to play under pressure. And that's where you're going to develop and go on to college and get scholarships. And so that's what I was striving for. My dad played pro baseball. He was kind of like me. I mean, he was really a great baseball player, but he loved to play golf. And golf being an individual sport, that it's just different thinking. The other, you're thinking team. I got to do something to help the team, and here all the pressure's on you in golf. And so I think he was my biggest mentor, leading me. When I first moved to Chattanooga, I didn't know anyone. I didn't know the main street. So I was so new. And after about a year and a half, 2 years, I thought I would just go and get involved with the young junior golf program. And so as I got more involved, I ended up president of the Chattanooga District Golf Association for about 12 years. And then from there, and during that time too, I was vice president of the Tennessee Golf Association for the whole state of Tennessee, and running the tournaments and being involved and promoting golf. And then after that period, I got appointed to the United States Golf Association. It was great, because that being the golf organization, the USGA, is special, and so I did a lot of rules officiating, but I got to officiate and be involved. I was on the executive committee of the 91 U.S. Amateur and the 94 Curtis Cup, which is the women from the United States playing the Great Britain Ireland team, and that was such a treat. And they had their head people of golf over to the United States, and got to play with several of them. So it was just such an honor to be involved at this stage and this amount. Any advice to someone that really wants to play golf for a living and get to the highest state? I think you just got to have some patience, to accept that you're going to progress. The more you play, the more you're involved, the more pressure you're under, you learn so much more. I mean, it's one thing to go out to the driving range and hit it wonderfully, or just to play golf on a normal day. But when you start competing at different levels, and one thing that I've learned from the USGA is golf is growing in the United States, but the fastest growing segment of golf is in women and juniors, more so than men. And I just can't tell you enough that golf, and I especially talk, and I just talked to some of the junior golfers. We had an event over at Cypress Lake, where I belong. And I told several of the young girls came over and they were talking to me, and I said, you'll never dream how much golf can help you in your future life, no matter what it is. But in business, if you go out and play in one of these business tournaments with a group of guys and they see what kind of golfer you are, all of a sudden it's going to be a different situation for you. If you're calling on them for business or you're involved in any way, the next time they see you, I can assure you, first thing they'll say is golf, something golf. And it just helps break the ice. And I think any young girl or young gentleman, the lessons of life, it's not always going to be perfect. Just like life, it's not always going to work out just the way you want it to, but you keep trying and it'll get there. So I'd never been to Fort Myers, and this was in the late 90s. And so I come down here to meet with HMA, Health Management Associates, and they had built up to 27 hospitals, mostly rural, small town. And so I go down and meet with them in North Naples at their corporate office. I walk in the office there, and I'd never seen so much golf memorabilia and golf trophies in my life. So boy, I lit up because I said, I'll get this business. And so it was so funny, and had the best meeting you could ever have. Coming to Cypress Cove, and my wife Samira has been involved in medical field down here in Fort Myers for over 30 years. But when we started talking about maybe moving into a planned retirement, Cypress Cove was it. That was, we didn't even discuss, but believe it or not, there's 4 members that at Cypress Lake Country Club that live here. We just love being part of this community, and I can go on and on about why we love it. Everyone has a smile on their face. Every resident you meet in the hall, every staff member. We just wanted to move into a place, not wait until we had a major health issue. We wanted to move in so we could enjoy it and have it available if something happened to us. There was no choice but Cypress Cove. But I went back to the airport, and I was supposed to be on a 4:30 flight. Well, there was a 2:30 about to leave, and I said, can I get on this flight? And the lady said, well, every seat's taken. So I go over to the counter, and so she called my name, and she said, we got a seat available. 5 minutes before the flight left, and I go in and I sit down beside Samira Beckwith. Long pause, but that was 28 years ago, and we've been married 26. So really, 5 minutes changed my life. And I'm so proud of Samira and what she's accomplished down here, and she knows everyone. It's amazing how one thing like that can change your life. It's just, fate. I believe in fate, that I went to Chattanooga, and then that I came to Fort Myers, and it's just certain things that just happen, and you know, you don't know why, but turns out good.
Yeah.
From a legacy standpoint, I think certainly I will be more in the involvement with golf than with baseball. And I've had so many great experiences in baseball, but I think more my legacy would be in golf and the environment with junior golf and the young people. And, you know, I was involved with the state and all the adult tournaments too, but the junior tournaments just meant the world to me.